here this morning.
Yeah.
So we
Five, four, three, two, 1, 0.
What's up, Fight fans? Welcome to another edition of Web Boxing 101 podcast number 46. Yeah, we've been a little bit slow, but we are back on track. Welcome, everybody, on this Friday evening. And like always, we're coming by way of the installation of Warrior's Edge Boxing Gym and promotions inside a live boxing gym. And I can honestly say it's one of the first podcasts of its kind, bringing to you boxing news from the amateur world, which is so important, and the pro news as well, which is important, but it's nothing better than amateur boxing. And today on the show, tonight, it's our pleasure to introduce to you the chief photographer.
Chief photographer,
Mr. Andres Ace Acosta, and he's live on the Boxing Reporter and live on YouTube. Ace, welcome to the Boxing Gym. Welcome to the podcast.
Thank you guys for having me on here.
Well, I mean, it's a pleasure to have you, and thank you for taking time. I know you're real busy. You're everywhere in El Paso. I've seen you before, and we decided just to bring you, to bring some diversity to the program. Holy shit, there's a big word. Diversity in the past 2 months, right? What do you think of the stuff that's been going on? It's been crazy, huh?
It's been crazy. A lot of the protests going on, everybody voicing their opinion, a lot of sides, being spoke out there. We've had to cover those issues, be right there in the forefront, and like I said, it's been eye-opening. Sometimes a little nervous, you're hoping nothing really pops off, but this is a crucial part in history that we're in, and it's our job to go out there and cover it
and cover the story, right? You guys are always caught in the middle, right?
Yeah, we are.
It is a dangerous job as well, right?
I mean, it is. I mean, especially with the whole fake news stuff going around.
Yeah.
But we're out there trying to just cover all these events.
Yeah, and we are living in some tough times, man.
Mm-hmm. It's a totally different world now.
Different.
It's all changed.
It's all, of course, man. It's all. How old are you, Ace?
Let's see. I'm 36, turning 37.
So you know what we're talking about, right?
Yeah, it's
different world. Folks, those of you that are doing live, you can comment and talk to Ace if you want. And always, of course, my side man here, color commentator, whatever you want to call him, the hitman from El Chuco, Texas, and the ever colorful Mr. Herman Delgado is on the third mic. Herman, good evening to you.
Good evening there, Tree. What's happening, man?
Well, just here, man, learning what we like to do, right? Getting the boxing gym going and talking some boxing. And speaking of boxing, Herman and Ace, we had some fights already this week. But before we start that, we want to credit Mr. Bob Arum for putting a big card on this week. It was on a Tuesday. Hall of Famer promoter Bob Arum recently laid out a plan for the return of pro boxing. And for everybody, all these boxing fans, that was also pretty good. Because we actually want to see boxing. There's been a while, 3 months or 4 months that we haven't seen boxing. This is the momentous occasion, said Arum. Boxing is back after a 3-month lapse. I'm really proud of Top Rank as the first promoter out of the box. We have a great fight and a great show on June the 9th, and that was Shakur Stevenson. And then also in this 2-month period in June and July, where it looks like there won't be any NBA or Major League Baseball, the spotlight will be directly on boxing. And it's important that the spotlight is on boxing because boxing has been going downhill. We've been losing fans. It's just been, again, you talked about how we're living in tough times. Boxing's also going through the same dilemma, right?
It is. the power that it's had in the past, it's obviously gone down. Some of the fighters are not getting the recognition that they used to get, and it's good to see that they're the first ones to make a comeback in the sports arena, because people have been bored. What are we going to do? What are we going to watch? And it's good to see that finally boxing is back.
Well, and it is back, and Bob Arum said it's one step at a time to bring boxing back. It's not an easy and it's not an inexpensive. For example, testing. Just the testing in itself, guys, for coronavirus for each event will cost us in excess of $25,000 just in testing. That's what the CEO of Top Rank said, plus the rooms, the special accommodations, special security, the meals in the convention area. So boxing, and I think I'm going to talk about any event probably is going to have to add that platform to their expenses and to their budget, to add medical people, the testing, the facility, separate people and all that. Even though these events will be with no people, we're talking about there's still people behind the scenes, people that do the behind the scenes work, right, Herman?
Oh yeah. The good thing about no boxing right now is that we've had a lot of those throwback fights that they've been showing lately on the weekends, going back in time when they had all the good fights. Hearns, Sugar Ray, Foreman.
Yeah,
it's been great to see that.
Yeah, I know those old school fights,
yeah,
right?
It's great to see that stuff.
Well, it's good. It gets to reintroduce those fighters to this younger generation. Everybody's still used to just the new ones. They get to see the classics. Like
yeah,
it was really about.
It was really and there's not. We don't see that because the whole dynamics of the boxing, the way we view boxing now has changed.
Yeah, everything's changed. Time.
It's the new generation, right? I remember watching those big fights on Thursday night fights on USA Network, and then Friday night fights, and then that went away, and then the shocker that shocked me because I started watching it on HBO. That went away as well. So that was pretty sad, man, to see HBO leave. Before I even keep going, guys, tonight's podcast is being sponsored by SunWest Wholesale Merchants. Pablo Burciaga is on our website and on our Boxing Reporter. Right now that the coronavirus has hit hard, these people will actually deliver cleaning supplies, janitorial services, supplies, equipment, you name it. For any gyms that are listening out there, go contact SunWest Wholesale Merchants. And again, I'll give you the number in a little while, but they're sponsoring it. Also, we want to say a shout out to Lou, Canelo, and Ponce Leon, and Mando, good friends of mine at Pop's Pizza. All right,
that's some good pizza, man.
Right, that's some very good pizza.
You guys are making me hungry.
Yeah, you go visit them. Pop's Pizza. I'm going to give you that information right now, the phone number and all that. But he's listening to the podcast. So what's up, Lou? Johnny Tag.
Johnny Tag.
He wants to know where you got your good looks from.
Oh, Johnny.
He's looking at you right now.
Yeah. You got to bless Mom on that one.
Well, there you have it, Johnny. Boxing returned recently. The WBO featherweight champion and the 2016 U.S. Olympic silver medalist Shakur Stevenson, which he's 14-0, punished Felix Caraballo for 6 rounds in a non-title super featherweight main event on Tuesday night inside what they called the bubble at the MGM Grand in Las Vegas. Right. It was Stevenson scoring knockdowns in rounds 1 and 6 with body shots. The time was 1:31 of the round 6. Also, undefeated heavyweight Gerard, the real big baby Anderson, which is 4-0 with 4 KOs, stopped Johnny Langston in round 3. It was a barrage of punches, ended it with a time of 1 minute and 55 minutes. So it was a great night of boxing. Great to see boxing back at the bubble at the MGM. It was great to see Tony Weeks, our friend Tony Weeks, the legendary ref, in the middle of this, the third man in charge of the action. So it was good to see boxing back, just on the tube, man, because we're living in tough times right now. Also, yesterday, more boxing continued at the bubble and at the MGM Grand in Las Vegas as Magdaleno defeated Vicente by disqualification in round 4. Vicente hit Magdaleno with a low blow, then dropped him with a flush right hand to the head. After some minutes on the canvas, Magdaleno was able to continue, and Vicente was deducted 2 points by another legendary referee, Robert Byrd. Vicente was deducted a 3rd point for a low blow later in the round. And again, there was other great fights on the undercard. Magdaleno dropped Vicente, and the time was 1:38 as they disqualified him for a low blow, and he won. So it was a great week for boxing at the bubble at the MGM Grand in Las Vegas. What a way to start boxing, right, Herman? I mean,
It's
you
always
mentioned
great
that
to see boxing.
I mean, it doesn't matter, right? I mean, you mentioned the past fights, but it's good to see.
Sometimes I go online just to check out old fights.
Right, yeah, but I mean, it's good to see Shakur. What do you think of Shakur Stevenson?
He's all right.
He's an up and comer, right?
Oh yeah, he's gonna be up there. He's gonna be up.
What do you think, Ace?
It's good to see that come back, and Stevenson looks like he packs a punch.
Yeah, he does. He's a very good fighter, very vicious fighter. So it was good to see them. Things that are, and speaking of boxing and coming back strong, one of the strong fights that might be coming in, and it's going to be in Australia, is the Fury Wilder 3. WBC heavyweight champion Tyson Fury can defend the title against the former champion Deontay Wilder in Sydney, Australia. And this is according to a promoter in Australia. Top rank Bob Arum and the other promoter from Australia, which is Lone Grand, had previously worked together in 2017 for the co-promoted Manny Pacquiao Jeff Horn fight. Bob Arum mentioned in a recent interview with Peter Manidas that Australia was a possible venue for the third Fury Wilder fight. What do you think of that showdown?
I think Fury will take him again.
I think so too.
Easier. He exposed him this last time.
He exposed him big
Yeah,
time. What do you think, Ace?
I mean, when you fight somebody for the third time, you guys know each other, in and out. I think, like you said, he's going to be dominant on that one, especially in Australia, down under.
Yeah, I mean, who knows, right? So we might see it, and Christmas night might be the night. Again, Boxing Day over there is December 26th or here.
Yeah, something like that.
It would be beamed back into the States on Christmas night. This could be a massive historical event because of the date. And not just because of the date, guys, but because boxing is back, and it looks like Top Rank has started off running, right? Boots on the ground.
Yeah, they're kicking it.
And as I guess Golden Boy and the other ones are still waiting for their queens to get ready.
Yeah,
Right?
The Queens is right.
now you said that's going to probably if it does go Christmas night, right?
Yeah, Christmas night.
So it looks like they're ready to size up the NBA, because usually the NBA has games
Christmas
on
Day.
That's
Christmas
true.
days on that.
Yeah, so what do you think of the NBA coming back in other sports, Ice?
It makes sense, to have everybody there, and it's going to be different. I mean, I think it's a 22 team playoff. I mean, it's good to see everybody coming back. I just hope everybody stays healthy and nothing, pops off.
Is it going to be a short season? It has to be, right?
Yeah,
and how are they going to play it out?
I believe they're playing for a couple weeks. All the teams they're playing there in Orlando. And then after that, the teams get seeded, and then they'll have the playoffs kick off right then and there. So,
Wow, that's weird, huh?
Oh, it's totally weird. It's totally weird.
What about baseball? Is any talks about Major League? I know there were some talks of contracts, but that didn't go through.
Yeah, they're going back and forth. I think from everything that I'm reading, this should have been decided on a couple weeks ago. It goes into revenue and money. They're cutting it close.
So nothing's been done with baseball yet, right?
No, there's no agreement yet. I believe the owners want to play 48 games, but the players are wanting to play 79 or trying to come at. But what it ends up being is the owners still have the ball in their court, so they can get to the point where they say, you know what, we're playing 48 games. If you don't play, you're in breach of contract, and you guys are not going to get paid at all. So
Wow.
They're still working out the kinks of all the safety and the safety and make sure everybody's healthy in the stadiums. We still don't know about the fans, but from what they're saying, there's going to be quite a bit of double headers to try to get these games, in.
Wow, I mean, we want to see it already, right? I mean, people are thirsty for baseball right now, man.
Yeah, I think they're thirsty just for sports in general.
I know, man.
With all the negativity and all the other stuff going on, they really want something to kind of take their minds away from it.
Yeah, so I mean, like I said, Bob Arum was smart in the boxing world to get that started, right?
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Other than like what NASCAR's been doing,
Yeah, that's right. NASCAR already kicked off.
But this is I think more significant because you have the physical contact with it, and with all the unknowns that we know about Corona, this was one of the main
And
things.
credit to other sports. I am sorry. I mean, MMA already got started too a while back, way before boxing in Florida, right? And it's a contact sport. And then also, in these last fights, in the Shakur Stevenson fight, there was supposed to be the girl Mays was supposed to fight, and she tested positive for COVID. So I guess the testing has worked, and they've kind of been they've been very proactive as far as safety for the fighters, right?
Exactly.
So
exactly.
I mean. So that was good. So Ace, tell us a little bit about yourself growing up in El Paso. Are you from El Paso?
Yeah, I was born here in El Paso, and then my father was military. So 6 months after I was born, we got transferred to Ohio.
Wow.
Yeah, big difference from what I remember. My dad said they didn't even have Dr. Pepper out there at that time.
They didn't have Dr. Pepper?
They had Mr. Pibb.
Yeah, well, Dr. Pepper's from here.
Yeah,
from
exactly,
Texas.
exactly.
And I forgot the city. You know the city?
I don't, and I
Drink it up, man.
and I drink it a lot. But so stayed out there for a few years, and then obviously in the military life, you get transferred around. So we went to New Mexico, then off to California, and then my father got sick, so we came back here to El Paso.
In what year?
I want to say it was 1994.
1994. Well, real quick, Dr. Pepper. It was created in 1880s by pharmacist Charles Alberton in Waco, Texas.
Waco.
Wow, I didn't know it was in Waco. I thought it was different, but it was in the early late 1800s.
Hey, it's still going strong.
It's still going strong.
still
And then
going
I remember Mr. Pibb.
Mr.
And
Pibb.
Mr. Pibb was something that Johnny Tapia used to drink. Herman, you told us about that,
He
right?
drank a whole case. He would drink a case a day.
A day.
A day. And you know what? It was Dr. Pepper that he would drink. It wasn't.
Oh, it wasn't Mr. Pibb. It was Dr.
No,
Pepper.
Dr. Pepper. And the thing was that when he grew up, it was so hard for him to purchase that. He didn't have the money. So when he got a lot of money, he said, "Now I can buy all the Dr. Pepper I want."
He didn't get
drink a case a day.
He didn't get no sponsorships with that or anything.
And he said he would drink a case a day
A
training.
case a day. That's why he would go to sleep at 4 in the morning. And by the time I'd get out there to camp, he'd be up at 4 in the afternoon. He's like, "Man, don't you sleep?"
That's crazy, man.
I tell you, Dr. Pepper was doing it.
And like I mentioned, and Dr. Pepper is a Texas thing, like Whataburger, right?
Oh yeah, it is. Well, Whataburger got bought out, but we're not going to go there.
Yeah, they're from a person in Chicago, right?
Chicago, yeah.
Chicago took it
Jesus
over.
Christ, man. Don't even talk about Chicago right now.
Right.
Crazy. Guys, I mentioned that today's podcast is being presented by Pop's Pizza. Go visit Mondo and Lou over there at 12300 Pelicano Drive, Suite Charles. All right, that's Pop's Pizza. They just opened it. It's a locally owned business, and I've always said support local all the way. We tried it out just to support them, but not just to support them because it's great pizza. It is.
It's a great location,
It's
too.
a great location,
You guys
too.
live right off of,
The Loop.
Yeah, right off of Bob Hope and Pelicano.
Yeah, Pelicano. And the number is,
right there.
yeah, 915-500-7040.
You can go to the football games after that.
Yeah, and then also Sunwest Wholesale Merchant on address is 1835 East Mills Avenue. Go visit Pablo at 351-1615. Great people. My dad has COVID, and he couldn't. He was quarantined in the house, and Pablo went out of his way. And they deliver. They delivered some disinfectant. They leave it in your front door to disinfect the house. We were going through some stuff here. He comes over here and delivers stuff at the gym, my house, Lysol, paper towels, toilet paper, whatever you need. Sunwest Wholesale is there to help us out in time like that. So we want to give a shout out to those two local businesses. All right. So Ace, you're from El Paso. How did you get into this business of photography?
After high school, didn't really have that many photos. Kind of looking back, and we did a lot of stuff because I graduated from Socorro.
Were you in the yearbook committee?
No, I media technology, but that was my senior year. So media technology, we did the whole TV production on there.
That's cool, man.
Yeah, so that was where the bug kind of started off right there. But I didn't have any photos from. I think I have like maybe 6 photos from high school, and as I went to college and then started working in the bar business, we'll take photos of all the concerts. I worked at Club 101.
Oh, okay.
So Mr. Dorgan will always have a bunch of shows coming in. So that bug started to just, that fire just started to grow. When I left the bar business and got a real kind of day job and was making some more money, I finally invested in a camera.
What year was this?
That was back in 2008.
Okay.
Yeah, 2008.
Okay.
So I started shooting. My brother was coaching Little League football, and one of my nephew's teammates was a junior at America's High School. So I was shooting some Little League stuff, and they're like, why don't you go take pictures of Isaac? He was coming off the Athlete of the Year for football. I was like, well, give me a credential, and I'll do it. So it worked out. A lot of the family was in the booster club, joined the booster club, and the first game of the season was in Midland. Took the drive out there. They gave me my credential. Got game shots that day. Later on that afternoon, posted a photo of Isaac, and he shared it on his Instagram, and it took off after that.
Wow.
Yeah. So the sports started just to go. I started covering that.
So now you work for the El Paso Herald Post.
Yes, the El Paso Herald Post.
The El Paso Herald Post used to be an actual hard copy publication.
Correct.
That went out of business in 1997.
97. Yep,
Right?
The afternoon paper.
It was the El Paso Herald Post in conjunction or with El Paso Times still?
At that
What was
time,
it called? The El Paso Times?
The El Paso Times and the Herald Post were out of the same buildings, two different
Oh,
departments.
okay.
But yeah, they had the morning paper and then the afternoon paper.
So as any other big city, other big cities have more than one newspaper, right?
yes.
Or no?
Well, yeah. Yes.
How come El Paso went away from that?
I don't know the true
A
history
lot
of
of
that.
it's all about money now. It's
Right.
a lot of
Especially in this day
media
and age.
going on.
advertising.
Believe it or not, guys, I'm one of two in my whole neighborhood. That street, a lot of houses. We're the only ones that go pick up paper. Me and my neighbor. My neighbor's 101 years old,
All right.
and everybody's just coming. You still get the paper? What? Yeah, I still get the. Is that bad or what? I mean, everybody gets all digitally right now.
It's not bad, but we live in a world now that everybody wants their info, so when you print that night before, in the morning, it's kind of already outdated. Stuff's already happened.
Wow.
All
That's
the new
old
stuff.
news.
Old news already.
And it's expensive, especially now with the finances for this business. Printing is not cheap, and then you do that run.
Do you think that that'll be a thing of the past in the future? El Paso Times will pretty much go away
I think the whole
and become digitally because El Paso Herald Post is digital, right?
Yes, we are digital. We are digital only. I believe the whole industry is heading in that direction already.
Wow.
It's weird because a lot of people still want to see their hard,
Yeah,
copy
a lot of
stuff.
people, yeah, like me.
And
I'm the
it's
same way.
it's just so expensive to keep those prints up, and then if you don't have the
Well,
subscribers,
I think it's like $14, and I was getting only Friday, Saturday, and Sunday and Monday. I don't know. And then, but you know what? Sometimes, no offense, man, that news was lame.
it's hard. It's hard.
It sucked, man. It really did, man. Some of the news.
That's how.
I mean, some like it was real thin, and there was not that much news, and there was news. I mean, do they lack reporters? Do they lack? There's so much news out there, man.
It's a mixture of things, especially in the newspaper industry, because a lot of big corporations own these publications.
Like USA Today owns El Paso Times, right?
So a lot of the stuff that they'll put out is not necessarily all the stuff that their writers did. I mean, Felix and all them do a great job. But
Yeah,
some of the stuff,
Felix has been here.
But some of the stuff just doesn't make it to print.
Oh, okay.
Now it'll be online, just like with our stuff. It'll be online. It's just getting people to go to those new platforms on there. Like I said, there's a lot of great reporters still here in the city that are local, that are showcasing local stuff. It's just getting the readers to move to these new platforms on there.
So I can imagine like the sports person, which is Felix.
Yes, Felix for the Times, yes.
So how would he do it right now?
From what I believe he's been doing,
There's no sports.
they've been show. Luckily, there's 32 high schools here in the city, so I believe they've been going through each high school and talking about some of
Their
the key-
athletes.
Yeah,
I've seen that on Facebook.
yeah, because
you're right.
the El Paso Athletic Hall of Fame released their Athletes of the Year.
Yeah.
I helped out working with one of the videos that they did, and like I said, it's tough for the sports industry right now because especially for TV, there's what do you report on? My boys with Channel 7, Channel 9, and 4. It's hard.
It's hard right now
because there's literally nothing going on.
There's nothing going on.
All right, but you still gotta
I'll tell you what's going on.
boxing.
Web Boxing Podcast.
Yeah.
And Pop's Pizza. Pop's Pizza's out there.
Yeah,
There you
Pop's
go.
Pizza. Shout out to Lou. Pop's Pizza, and they opened also Daniel Ponce Leon up in the gym here, pound for pound boxing. And you know what, I say it with a lot of pride, man, because I don't fear no competitor, because there's enough for everybody.
Not just that,
You know.
it helps push you to do better.
Yeah, yeah, you're right.
Like I said, with the guys, Felix and Jorge from the Ink and Mark from the Times, you know, we all cover these same events. We're all great friends, but the competition
Yeah,
level is still
of
there.
course.
You know, we're just not bitter like, oh no,
Yeah.
no, we want like, oh, we got to get that
That's
shot.
right.
You know?
And then also you mentioned something, Ace, when we were getting ready for the podcast, that the last sporting event in El Paso was the Jennifer Hahn fight.
Exactly. One of the, well, especially for boxing, you know, that
For
was-
everything, no?
Yeah.
Or after that, what really happened?
Yeah, nothing
It
big.
was high school was coming around.
Yeah,
with
high school
the-
playoffs were coming,
Yeah,
but
it was
professionally,
it was the boxing.
That was the boxing.
It was a
the boxing.
great show, man.
It was. She did good. Like I said, Jennifer. You know, after having a baby and you know that core, I mean, it's she did good. I mean,
Yeah,
she was.
hey, but you got to imagine. But Jerry Stites was a tough one, huh? Herman?
She was tough.
She was.
I mean,
she was.
Jennifer was
came to
throwing.
fight.
She came to fight.
Just Jennifer. She just.
I mean,
she
it
was
went the
quick. She was
distance,
quick.
and it was a good fight. It was.
All-
It was
you know,
a good
all the
match.
fights on that night were good.
Yeah, all of them
They
were
were.
good.
There
They
wasn't
were.
a single fight you could say,
Yeah.
wow, that was boring.
You know, I'm
All was
gonna
good.
I'm gonna ask both of you a question. We love the sport and it's awesome. I don't know if you think the same as me, but I think, this is my opinion, that like you said, all the fights were good. It was a good night. Do you think when they start mixing politics and I'll give you an example. Bubba Wallace is a NASCAR driver, and he wants the Confederate flag removed from all events of NASCAR.
Well, actually, NASCAR did.
Remove him.
They did remove
Yeah,
him.
because he made it. You think that affects? I mean, do you think? I mean, it's okay. I want to bring something, open a can of worms here, but it's my show. But I mean, and it kind of, you know, like, really, bro. I mean, this is watching for the sport and just race. You got it made. What do you think of that? What's your take on that? And it goes down to that
Corporate sponsorship too.
what is his name from the 49ers?
Oh, Kaepernick.
Yeah, that guy.
That guy. Yeah, that guy.
You know what? It's tough because I guess from our view, but when you have a platform to voice your your
okay.
opinion, it's some people say use that platform to be good. It's however people's views. It's a double-edged sword. You're not going to make everybody happy.
But do you think? And I get it. But do you think? Why now? I mean, there's so much stuff going on. Why now? What do you think, Herman?
And there's consequences. You know, like Ace says, there's that you have that platform meant you can use it to your advantage, but at the same time, it could come back and bite you in the ass hard.
Right? Maybe lose fans or something.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I saw it so innocent. I mean, I don't really.
I mean, for us, but
Well, I mean,
but in their shoes, I mean,
Well.
it's tough. Like I said, it's we didn't experience that over here per se, but they're using their platform to do that, just like we use it to say stuff for our sports and stuff that we go for. Like I said, it's a double-edged sword.
Do you think it'll come into boxing?
I don't really.
Well, there was one already.
There
Anthony
was.
Joshua.
Oh,
He
okay.
walked with the protesters. I don't know what actually was said about what he did, but he protested also in a peaceful way, and he voiced his opinion on what's going on. I didn't really touch too much up on it, but there was already one in the boxing world about all what's going on, equality and all that, right? But I just think that sometimes it damages some of the fans because we're tired of this shit already.
True.
What's the name of the guy that was the quarterback for the Redskins? Not Joe Theismann. After that,
Doug Williams.
no, not Doug Williams. It was one that was Native American. He was a quarterback.
Native American.
Yeah, he was with the Washington.
Was he there for a while or?
He was there just for a while. Yeah, he was there for a while, but he made it up to the Super Bowl, and they asked him a question about.
It wasn't Ripken, was it?
Mark Ripken.
Yeah, Mark Ripken.
Mark
Yeah,
Ripken.
But he was
Okay.
Native American, and they asked him a question about what
That's
he
right.
felt about. How did he feel about discrimination? He goes, if you find it discriminatory, if it's discriminatory to you, it's fine with me because that's your opinion. That's how you feel. So they were talking about the logo, how they were going to remove the logo. And
Oh, that's
and he
right.
voiced his
That
opinion
was
about
because
that.
of the Reds. Yeah.
And he said, if you find it offensive, more power to you.
You know what?
I can't tell you it's not offensive because I'm not in your shoes.
Yeah, because also like Florida State was also
we were
the
talking.
Chiefs because they found it offensive. Yeah, Mark Ripken is a Native American, and he was
made a
drafted in
comment about
1986 by the Washington Redskins. A good quarterback too.
Yeah.
I know it's. I mean, all this has also gotten into even cartoons, right?
Yeah, I
Well,
heard
you
it-
had
yeah.
a boxer that came out wearing a wall on, drawn on his trunks.
A wall.
Yeah, a wall.
Was it a Mexican fighter?
No, no, it was a white guy making fun of.
Oh, I didn't
the
know.
wall.
You know
He
who the
fought a
fighter was?
Hispanic fighter. I don't remember, but it came out within the last year.
So I guess it's been everywhere, huh?
It is.
He wore
It
a wall
is.
on his trunks. It was embroidered on his trunks, and he took a beating. He took a beating. I
took
guess he
a
thought it was going to
fucking
make him more powerful, but it backfired on him.
Backfired on him. I guess
just
you-
angered the other guy.
I guess, Herman, you're right. I mean, they just got to be ready for whatever backlash is coming their way.
I mean, it's all right. You got the right to say what you want.
Of course, you have the right to say whatever
There's
you
going to be
want.
consequences to what you say. I mean, it doesn't
Absolutely.
exclude that, but it's you have the right to say what you want. Just some stuff.
I
might,
just wish they wouldn't be too involved in sports. Just watch the sport and play the sport how it is.
yeah, to
know,
a point.
we-
But I mean, they got a platform. I mean,
I know.
it's
Well.
it's a like I said, it's a double-edged
I think
sword
the last one that made that statement was Muhammad Ali. I mean, that I remember.
in boxing,
In
right?
boxing. Boy, he used it to his advantage.
Yeah, and he was he was a big person
3
to
years
use
out
a
of the
platform.
sport. They
Yeah.
kept him out for 3 years.
Yeah,
His
that's right.
his highlight years, his twilight years, but he stood his ground.
Yeah, exactly.
He stood his ground, and a lot of people called him all sorts of names. But then you got to go back that Muhammad Ali was it was a different era, where not like today. They didn't lash out at Kaepernick and call him, the N word and stuff.
Yeah,
like that.
yeah.
Not out in public. Muhammad Ali, they did.
Yeah.
They couldn't even sit down and eat in a restaurant.
I guess all this violence and all this has always been there,
Yeah.
but now it's out there more because of social media
Oh yeah, and everybody's these phones. I mean, this is a
Exactly.
game changer for
everybody.
everybody.
Yeah, you can imagine
Because there
how
was
many
riots
times
back then, but it wasn't as glorified
Yeah.
because of the phones. Now it's everywhere and it's
everywhere.
exploded. And I know we all agree, regardless of your nationality, that the looting and the crimes are not good.
Oh, they're not
of
good.
course, now we don't condone that, right?
But we do not.
I mean, looting and I mean, it's
that's
just
the thing
fucking
about-
crazy, man.
I mean, I've seen Ace out there in the protests and all of them, and that's the good thing about El Paso. These people are very calm.
Yeah.
It's not. They yell and they call each other names, and that's about as far as it gets, about as heated as it gets. But thank God we haven't had that looting and stuff like that.
But I'm gonna say something. I support 1,000% the blue.
Of course.
Fuck yeah. Fuck yeah. I even have my mask.
There you go. There you go.
Blue line. Support the Blues, men in blue, the men and women in the El Paso Police Department, the El Paso County Sheriff's Office, 23-year veteran, and the fire department, all these first responders. I support them 1,000%. And I
know
said
you
what I
do,
had to
and
say.
I think there's a lot of people that feel the same way as you do, especially with what's going on right now.
Yeah, I mean, they've done a great service to the city of El Paso, man. And, support Las Cruces, too. They're like us.
Right.
They're the same, man. Taking pictures, Ace, is what you do, right?
Yes, sir.
It's not just pressing a button. It's an actual skill, right? And the art of capturing the memorable shot that everybody's going to remember, right?
Exactly.
So tell us about the skill. Tell us, it's just not pressing a button, right?
No, I mean, you got to have some. You kind of go in with the game plan. Obviously, gear is important, but not necessarily that you need to have the top of the line stuff. The main thing is trying to tell you the story through your eyes. Whether we get the best seats in the house most of the time, so
Yeah.
we want to show what we see to the readers. So changing your angles, trying to, all right, let's see, let's focus in, like say for Jen's fight, all right, let's zoom in, let's see the emotion on the face, let's see, the sweat dripping, and just kind of hoping you get that shot where you get the punch and the sweat going from there. It's
And as in the boxing world, being a photographer, a ringside photographer, there's not a bad position because it's all the same, right? Wherever you position yourself, correct?
depends on the ref, right?
Oh, because he's in the way. Oh, that's right.
And then remember, we can't shoot above the first rope.
The first rope.
So it's
You got to really go under there.
Yeah, and it's kind of a wear and tear on your back because you know
standing off.
Yeah, you're kind of like leaning up a little bit. You know, I can tell now that I'm getting a little bit older. It's like, woo, you know, got to stretch before this. But you know, it's you're just hoping to capture it. Sometimes they'll stay in a corner and you're like, you know.
Is there any rules that you guys have that they tell you, the commission tells you what not to do?
We can't block the judges. We can't get in their line of sight at all. I think you get like maybe one warning. If not, they'll you're out. You can't really put your camera through. You know,
over past the rope.
Well, yeah, because I mean, what if the rep comes and trips over?
And it's happened.
And of course, you know, standing up, you know, shooting over that first rope. One, I believe, because it's blocking the spectators in the back. You know, you kind of feel bad.
But you are.
We are. I mean, especially, you know, a couple of my guys, they're 6'4". George is 6'4". You know, we can only
Herman's not a small person either.
Right? We, you know,
They're just white.
It's. I kind of feel bad because they probably paid some decent money for some of those seats, but you know, we're here to do a job.
Yeah, you're right. Speaking of that, my partner here, Herman, tell us about your award that you got in shooting a very good, memorable photo of the Victor Ortiz Devin Alexander fight. What award did you get for that, Herman? And I wish I would have had it so I could show it.
It was an award that went through that
what
digital
website
photo
was
magazine.
it?
Digital photo magazine.
See if I can find it.
They wanted to know your story of just submit a picture, and I just always remember that.
Digital
picture.
what?
Digital photo magazine. Digital Pro magazine.
Okay, tell us about it.
And they just wanted to just submit a photo and then tell your story, how you got that photo. And I just got it was just a matter of luck catching that photo and being there. Like you said, we get seats. We're right up front.
Yeah.
We can't complain about that. So it was. I got that shot, and when I submitted it, I didn't think, whatever. And
what did you get? What you got? Second place of
Second
what?
place,
And what kind of award was this? What do they call it? Or
it was a second place. There was like 1,750 entries.
Wow.
And I got they sent me a nice camera, like a $1,500 camera.
Wow.
Fujifilm, and then they gave me $250. And
did the camera already come in?
Yeah, it came
All
in
right,
finally.
there
I
we
had
go.
to wait for that.
Yeah, he was
while.
happy when it came in. But I wish I could show the video, but I can't. I can't find it. But
was
next time.
It was nice to. I mean, I just submitted that photo, and like
Yeah.
I said, I caught it. It was just one. It's a luck, not so much luck, but just being there waiting for that moment. And,
Yeah.
You know, you're thinking about the camera's going so fast. You're taking pictures, and then once you get home is when you look at.
Of course.
See what I got.
Yeah, and you know, and it's like anything, man. You now that I know photographers, professional photographers like you guys, and what you do, and now that you watch you on TV, I know what it takes to be down there. Or you know, because you've told me, it's pretty cool, man. Seeing every aspect, what makes the whole event go. You know, even the photographers, and you guys are right in the middle there and taking the shots, and because there's a lot, you know.
And what's good is you kind of got to anticipate. You know, you got to kind of learn the sport. Luckily for me, you know, coming from a sports background, football, baseball, and all that, you kind of anticipate what they're going to do. You know, all right, situation-wise, you know, for baseball, all right, let me position myself over here to see if you can get that double play. And in boxing, all right, this person, you know,
and it's important to know the game
exactly.
the sport,
and
right?
just as the fight's going on, you kind of see what they're doing. All right, this person's going straight to the body. All right, I'm going to try to focus in on that. You know, because you want to get that emotion when they're hitting them right in the ribs. You know, if this one's going, if you see the fighter just coming out, just throwing blows, you better be focused in because this fight might not last.
Yeah, you're right. So let me ask, what was one of your favorite sports photos of all time that you might not have taken or you taken, or it's just a famous one?
Now, are we going on quality or just like, you
What's
know?
your
just
favorite photo?
You know,
Because everybody has, I'll give you an example like the Muhammad Ali under the water one. You know, that's a photo that's memorable, that you see it everywhere.
you know,
What's your favorite?
I got to go back.
Any sport.
I'll go back. I'll say this one. It was
Sports.
It was UTEP football. This is when Aaron, I think it was Aaron's junior year. UTEP was getting a lot of heat, obviously. You know, they weren't winning that many games. A lot of fans weren't going. So Aaron goes and he breaks Aaron Jones.
Aaron Jones.
So Aaron Jones is going to break it for like 60 yards. So he's coming to the end zone at us, right? And it just so happens in the front row in the end zone, there's a little kid out there. and he happens to put his hand out there, and Aaron goes and gives him a high five.
And
right?
you took that shot?
Yeah, the only ones that got that shot were myself and I believe Andy Morgan from Channel 9, because a lot of people left. Now the quality wasn't the best, but I just happened to just keep following him, and you just see him right there, both of them shaking hands. You see the kid smile like that. I go, that meant something, because even though UTEP wasn't winning as much games as the city will like him, but you still had those people that still showed up.
And Aaron Jones is a class act. Huh?
He is.
Great for El Paso.
Great.
Super nice guy.
Super nice guy, right?
He knows him real well.
Yeah,
Wow,
the whole family, they're sweet.
Maybe we
there.
can bring him to the podcast. Does he like boxing?
I believe so. I mean,
Really?
they love sports.
Well, maybe we could talk boxing with him. Can we make that happen?
All right, Showtime, are you listening? They want to talk to you.
Well, I mean, I heard that he's a real cool guy, man. I've never met the guy,
He
but
is.
he's an outstanding El Pasoan.
He is. And like I said, that shot right there, just visualize, just the happiness, that person felt. I mean, it's.
You gotta love that guy, because every time you see him on TV, he's always repping 915.
Yeah,
He's always
yeah.
the sombrero, flashing the signs.
Yeah, because a lot is expected from these
Super
guys.
nice guy.
It is.
A lot, man. I mean, when they get to those levels, man. But yeah, I don't know him personally, but I've always heard that he's a great mentor and role model for El Paso, man.
Yes, he
And
is.
hopefully he becomes the mayor of El Paso, and you never know.
I don't know. Politics or politics,
That'd
but
be-
let him
That'd be
just
awesome, huh?
let him just keep doing good in the
Right.
National Football League.
What about your favorite photo, non-sports famous photo that you might know of or you like? Or,
We had this conversation a couple weeks ago. I gotta go back to when Pope Francis came to Ciudad Juarez.
and were you close up? Close?
I had airport arrival and departure. Now
Tell us about that.
That day was just that whole couple days was kind of hectic, because originally we're supposed to get our assignments like that 3 days before. Yeah,
Okay.
we didn't get our assignments till 7:00 the night before. So we wake up early in the morning. Our reporter Alex and myself get to the press center at about 5:00 in the morning. All right, they finally give us our credentials. We got airport arrival and departure. All right.
Okay.
So we go to check in, and they're like, no, things have changed. You're only going to get departure. And we're like, what? Like, what do you mean? Like, yeah, they canceled the prison visit, so people had to make some moves. So you're only going to do departure. We're like, just wait to the side. And we're like, okay, departure, it's 6:00 in the morning. This is not till 6:00 at night was when he's flying out. So they have us, and it wasn't just us. It was about 10 to 12 press that had this same situation. So they start loading up the first bus, because it's supposedly they had seat assignments. So we're right there by the door, and we're waiting. It's like, all right, these buses are about to take off. Like, what gives? So the second bus pulls up, and security comes and looks at us, and they see our pass, and they're like, oh, airport arrival? All right, go to the second bus. Boom, we're gone. All of us onto the bus. All right, we made it. So we get just the experience of him. All right, you see the plane coming in. They have the crowd out there. It was like just everybody was just so hyped. And finally arrives, comes down, shakes hands with the rest of the bishops.
How close were you to him?
I want to say from here to probably the right outside the front door.
Wow.
Because they had the risers right there.
I bet you that was cool, man.
Yeah, because he came out there, and then he was going to drive around, and then he takes off to his route. So we were told that he gives his security like headaches, because he'll just out of the blue just stop the truck and then just get down and want to, if he sees something, he's going to stop and say hi or give a blessing.
I think he did that in Juarez.
He did that there.
He saw a kid,
and that's the
and
cool.
he got off, huh?
Yeah,
Or something like that.
So before that, as he's going, the truck is he had like a nice fixed up Dodge Ram. So he goes, and a little kid hops the fence. Right?
This was in Juarez, right?
This is at the Juarez airport.
Yeah, okay,
right?
yeah, I think I saw that.
So the kid hops the fence, gets up right close to the truck, and then that's when his security guard get him. He waves him back, says, no, bring him here. He gets it. The kid hands him a note, and he gives him like a blessing on the top.
Wow.
So I got the photo, that whole thing going, where he's handing him the note, and then he has his hand on there.
You got that photo?
Yeah, I got that photo
Are
when he's
you
going there.
serious?
Yeah.
So you were all there too?
Yeah, so I mean, we we're following him as he goes, and then the kid goes and.
So let
gets
me ask
close.
you a question. So when you're following like the Pope, are you like in the caravan, or do you have your own car? You go over there, or
No, we're they had some risers set up right? So there's about
But
50 of us.
but you travel on your own to Juarez,
Yeah, we did.
or there's not like a special shuttle for you guys that have permission.
No, well, yeah, I mean, you had to get your credentials and all that, but the what is it? The Sibelius was the press center, so you had the worldwide press there. So I mean, there was a whole bunch of people. They shuttled us to and from your assignments. So they had whoever had airport arrival, they had the bus at certain times going there. Whoever had the ones at the
That was a huge event.
Yeah, they had the ones at the I forgot, like the schools over there, the ones where they're doing the actual the mass. They had the bus going out at certain times. It was crazy.
Awesome, but it was awesome.
Oh, it was awesome.
Good for your resume.
I mean, yeah. I mean,
Wow, damn, yeah.
It's
awesome.
But I don't do it for that though.
I know I don't, but for me to talk to you, I was like, man, that guy's badass.
I mean, it's so cool to capture. You know.
Did you also do the president?
Yes, we did. We did.
Level of emotions were the same with people and chaotic.
It was chaotic. Like I said, how because you've been to the Coliseum. You know, there's two main entrances, so they had us going in with the VIPs going in, and like I said, it's it was crazy. I mean, especially with the whole fake news stuff going on. I mean, we got yelled at, we got cussed at. It was a crazy experience, but to still photograph a living president is still great to see, regardless of what your views is. You know, it's our job to go out there and cover them. You know.
Hey, leave it open. Fine, leave it open. Wow, man! So what an experience, man, that you went through right there. That was cool. You can leave it open, Herman. We understand that you have done a lot of boxing shoots. What has been one of your most memorable experiences while shooting a boxing event?
You know, the Han fight at the ballpark. You know, that outdoor, that Southwest.
Okay, because she's fought at Cohen Stadium too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's at Southwest University Park. That was a good one. It was a good crowd. You know, some good fights out there too. I mean, we had I forgot his name. He was dressed. He came out dressed in the Mexican colors. And he had the sombrero. He was one of the undercards. I forgot.
Was it a local? Josue? Was it Josue? Did Josue fight that fight?
I don't remember.
All I know, he came out. He had the red, white, and green. The shiny. He had the
Man?
sombrero.
I wasn't here. I was out of town.
But I know he got knocked out like in the first round, though. I mean,
but what made it so sweet? The weather. El Paso, the stadium's beautiful.
Just the environment. Just you can feel that
cool,
energy,
man.
That energy out there. You know, because sometimes in stadiums it might just be too hot or whatever. But even for an outdoor arena, to still hear, you know, the crowd chant, and especially when she came out, and you know, it was a good boxing match.
It was awesome, man. Do you have a favorite prize fighter?
Now, are we going active or are we going just all time?
Give me an all time.
You know, I got to go with Iron Mike. That he was a bad man. He was a just his work ethic and just intensity to just talk about getting in the zone.
What do you think of him coming back?
You know, I wouldn't want to fight him. I mean,
yeah, of course, he's scary, man.
I remember reading an interview. He wanted to stay away because he didn't want to fuel that fire, right? Because, you know, it just turns something on inside that, you know, he didn't want to get back to that place because once it's like, you know, it's that you get that itch, and he's got that itch back, and like I said, it's to the new generation to see this man, if he can still throw some blows like that, and
then he's exciting.
He's exciting. I mean,
and he has skills.
He's got skills. I mean, his trainer really, you know, the dude's went through a lot. You talk about,
of course.
You talk about, you know,
tough upbringing.
Very tough, and then to be the heavyweight champion of the world is nothing simple.
Beat everybody.
I mean, when you're the man, you know, and everything's coming at you, you know, it's the good, the bad, the evil. I mean, that's tough for anybody.
Yeah, and he looked evil. Chingao.
Well, you know, that guy, you can honestly say he was the baddest man on the planet.
Yeah.
Not like today. If they ask you who's the heavyweight champion, you got to look at like 10 guys.
It's weird. And then and now it's like a show, huh?
Yeah. Before you
come in and go kinds of shit.
Champ? Muhammad Ali. Who's a heavyweight champ? Ken Norton. Who's a heavyweight champ? Larry Holmes.
Yeah.
Now it's like,
the guy that walked in with the Lion King chair, the guy with the costume that weight
or
that missed him.
Does the uppercut and the fire comes out like a wrestling intro. See, but going back to the generation that grew up on the Rocky movies, he was like one of the closest ones, you know, for the energy aspect of, you know, packing those punches.
Of course,
his fights didn't last that long, but that power, you know, when you saw Drago and Rocky, it was a movie, but people are driven to that.
Yeah,
and
yeah. And Mike Tyson was a good ambassador for boxing back then,
Yeah,
man.
you remember Mike Tyson just came out simple. There was no
It was a towel,
There
cut
was no
towel around his
towel.
neck.
Right?
no socks, and there was no show.
Yeah, no show.
No,
He just walked in
lights
there.
And all that. He
Yeah.
just came straight to the ring.
Hey, but he did come out to some Tupac
Chingazos.
songs. There were some good friends. I
yeah.
do like that part. But yeah, like I said, but Tyson, like, just when you get that drive and that
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
focus. I mean, that's,
Of course. What about active?
I got to stay local. Jennifer, for what she's been doing, especially women in boxing in general. I mean, it's so tough for them. And
Yeah.
I mean, that's a whole another subject. But I mean, she's a champ.
Yeah.
I mean, at any level, to be a champion at your division
Of course.
is
Yeah, she's awesome.
And women in general don't get the respect that they need. I mean,
Yeah.
it's
And they're barely getting their due respect, like headlining cards for Showtime, and again, like Katie Taylor, Clarissa Shields, Jennifer Hahn. I just hope when it's all said and done, this pandemic and what this world is going through, I hope that Jennifer Hahn gets a televised fight, and because we know and that we will be there 100% supporting her.
oh yeah, El Paso.
Hell yeah.
They'll come out.
And we are El Paso strong when it comes to supporting our pro athletes and amateur athletes, of course. But we come out, man, and support her. So yeah, good, man. That's Jennifer Hahn. Last but not least, we want to talk about a big fight that hopefully will save boxing. And it's the face of boxing right now, which is Canelo Alvarez. I'm going to say it, right? Steve Kim out of ESPN put 5 potential opponents for Canelo and how they might fare against the middleweight champ, because we all want to see Canelo come back. As much as the boxing world was hoping for the Gennady Golovkin fight, he will not face Canelo at all. I don't think they're going to be facing. Instead, Triple G will be facing Camille Cerameta, and then he will entertain the idea of finishing his trilogy with Alvarez after that. So whom does Alvarez, boxing superstar, face right now, given the status and his opponents and the types of crowds? Number one, I'm going to say, and Steve Keane from ESPN said it's going to be this guy, Caleb Smith. Caleb Smith right now is the WBA super middleweight titleist. He's 27-0.
Plant.
He's what?
Is it?
No,
Caleb?
it's Caleb Smith. He's the brother. He already fought his brother. Canelo already fought. Smith is 27-0. He won the World Boxing Super Series Super Middleweight Tournament, stopping George Groves in the 7th rounds in 2018. Since that, Smith 30 dominated veteran Hassim Nadam in the 3rd round. How can Smith beat Alvarez? I'm going to say Smith is a taller fighter, and if you look at him right there, he has all the belts, man.
He does.
Caleb Smith is ready. He's 6'3", and that's what they say might pose a problem to Canelo. Size and reach advantages over Canelo, and possesses a solid offensive toolbox that he might outwork Canelo. Smith would need to be very active and make sure he doesn't stay inside the pocket too long, because if he does, Canelo will make him pay for it. What do you think of that fight?
I think that'll be a good that reach.
He's a big guy, man. He's not like his brother.
Can Canelo get in? Can he move up and in there and take those punches and attack that?
Well,
body?
he's fought taller guys. Sergey Kovalev.
Oh, come on.
I got to say it, man. Come on. Right, he fought him. The other guy that Steve Kim from ESPN said that he's in the running, and you're going to agree with him too, Herman, is this guy right here. And it's Dimitri Bivol, which is the WBA light heavyweight titleist. And this is the fighter that I think they are dodging. And this is the fighter that they do not want. One thing that isn't known about Bivol is how well he will react on the big stage, because he hasn't had it yet. Although he's one of the belt holders at 175, Canelo's not going to move up there, and his management have said that they are more than willing to move down in weight to face Alvarez. He is a very skilled fighter, very skilled, and he is lethal. This is the guy that I've been preaching about. Let's go, let's get it on with Canelo, right? And like I said, from a pure fight perspective, Bivol will have to be more assertive than usual and work to consistently close the gap on Canelo and punish him. Unlike the aged Sergey Kovalev, Alvarez would be facing a fresher fighter with fewer miles on the odometer. It would be imperative for him to turn this into a fight as much as possible. The more action-packed it is, the more favors him, right? A pure boxing match is more advantages for Bivol, even though he is a natural bigger man. Alvarez is shown to be durable, and that's the word for Alvarez, durable, and he has a very strong chin. He cannot let the fight be dictated from the outside. Canelo's got to punish him on the inside. But this is a fight that, out of the fighters that I'm mentioning right now, that I would like to see Canelo face.
Yeah, he's one of those sleeper fighters.
And let me tell you one thing. For me, I think he'll beat Smith. Everybody, but I'm going to mention that I've even looked at. But this guy is the one that can pose a problem for Canelo. But if Canelo were to face this guy, I think this will help the boxing world come back to normality. Mm-hmm. This will be an excellent fight for December if they take it. This is just me talking. Mm-hmm. You know, I don't know, the prediction that they even said that Bivol will win by decision. I don't know, man. The next, what do you think about Bivol, Herman?
No, I'm still with Plant. I wish they'd give that guy a...
Oh, Caleb Plant is not even on the list.
Yeah, I saw him come out on the list.
Yeah,
he even challenged. He says that he runs the 168. You know.
Yeah, there is no way they're going to give Canelo that before these guys.
This guy, yeah.
Caleb Plant.
Caleb Plant.
He fought in El Paso.
Yeah, he was
Ortiz Davon fight. Yeah, he was a good fighter, man.
And confident too. I mean, he was confident from the get-go there. I mean, like I said, El Paso doesn't realize that we get some good stuff come to this city.
Very good fights.
And he's out of Vegas. That's where his camp is at now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you mentioned El Paso has some good fights. They didn't have one last year.
Yeah, we're waiting. We're like, is something going to happen? You know,
no.
We were like, okay, like, and then that's when the Han fight came up. We're like, all right. We're like,
yeah,
it's
but
cool
that's
to get
it.
Back. Yeah, and then
nothing happened after that Ortiz fight. Nothing happened, and even that didn't get sold out. A lot of times,
they made a big mistake by putting those fights so back to back. The Ortiz fight, and then before that was, I don't know, it was after or before, but it was the same promotion with Lester Bedford.
That's right.
Not his fault, but
who did they
put it together? It was what's his name?
It was the one that fought Han.
Joselito.
Oh yeah, that's right. It was Josecito Lopez.
Yeah, Joselito Lopez.
That's right.
Wasn't also Han in the card?
Yeah, Han was on that card.
Han, the AB Han, and he fought. Oh my God, I just went blank.
All I remember, he kind of like speared AB Han on that fight.
Who was the guy? We just talked about him because he wants Canelo.
Oh yeah, good luck with that.
We'll get the name right now. Number 3 fighter on the list of ESPN says that it's going to be the Arizona kid David Benavidez. Very exciting, action-packed fighter, the WBC super middleweight titleist. He is an offensive machine. If you decide to stay inside the pocket against him, he is above average hand speed and a wide array of punches that hurt from either side. Thus far, the only blemish on Benavidez' career is a positive test for cocaine in 2018. But Benavidez is a talented young fighter who is ascending, and he's moving up to the top. Again, I like the way they said he's an offensive machine. Very simple. If Benavidez can defeat Alvarez, he can outbox him. Really, that isn't really his ring identity. He has to turn the battle into a bit of a firefight and test how much of a super middleweight Alvarez really is, if indeed he is a super middleweight. So, I mean, I don't know. This is another good opponent for Canelo to bring back boxing back. And then the other one is this guy, Billy Joe Saunders, that were scheduled to fight. I really don't care too much about this guy, the British boxer. He also, in late March, the British Boxing Board of Control suspended Saunders. Remember that? He posted a video on social media degrading women, or he's showing this is the way you hit a woman if she's talked shit or something like that. Yeah, it was stupid of him. So I really don't give a shit about him. I wish Canelo would have beat the shit out of him. He is skilled and well schooled. He's a southpaw boxer, but he's also an inconsistent fighter. He didn't look too good. He looked mediocre in some of his fights.
And that was supposed to be the fight on Cinco de Mayo, right?
Yeah, this was going to be the fight that we were going to see, but he got suspended. Prior to the coronavirus pandemic, like I said, he was in line to face him May the 2nd for the Cinco de Mayo fight. It was weird, guys, that May the 2nd rolls around and there's no boxing. How weird, huh? It was the first time, and I think they said in years, that there's not a major super fight.
There's always a good fight.
Always. It was either Floyd Mayweather, Juan Manuel Marquez, and now, or it was Chavez, Mayweather, right? Yeah. And then Canelo owns the rights now. Oh, not the rights, but he owns those months or the days, whatever you want to call it, right? But, it was weird to see boxing. and we were pissed
Right, everybody's
because Canelo should have just, hey, get somebody out there, give me somebody. The list is growing, you know. But yeah, this guy, I really don't care much about him for what he said. Last but not least, guys, is the one that everybody's been talking about as well, and it's Jaime Munguia. Munguia is the former WBO junior middleweight belt holder, is a fun but green fighter. He's being trained by the legendary Eric Morales. He's back in his camp. Munguia is 35-0. He is a hell-bent for leather type of fighter. Again, he's also looked, and they say he's a greenhorn because he is. I don't think he'll give Canelo problems. I mean,
It'll be an easy fight for Canelo.
I think so too.
But you know, he's going to come fight.
He'll probably throw everything at Canelo.
Exactly.
He'll throw the kitchen sink at him as well. He's a very strong fighter, durable. Munguia won't outbox or outthink Alvarez. So he would probably have to just throw everything, man. Munguia's not even a technical sound boxer. He's a high-volume pressure fighter with a lot of guts, but I don't think you need guts for that. I think
not at that level.
Not at that level, Canelo. So from my list, guys, I think it'll be. I think I would like him to fight this guy right here, Bivol, Dimitri Bivol. That'll be a good fight to see Canelo and bring back. But I highly, highly doubt it that they're gonna face this guy.
Yeah, they don't like those sleepers. Somebody that they can't. But it's a new person to market on.
Yeah,
like you
but
said.
I don't think they will even consider this guy to be up with Canelo Alvarez. But I mean, folks, we talk about Canelo Alvarez because he's the guy that's gonna hopefully come back strong and give us some good fights, man. Top Rank is busy and all that, but you know who the cash cow is. And you mentioned something about, is Canelo even willing to fight with no people? And if that's the case, do you think it's going to go through the whole year with no people?
It's a 50-50. I've read earlier today that they're advising people to wear masks in large groups. So does that mean they're gonna let people back in the stands as long as everybody's having a face mask on?
Because the part of the people that go in the business, in the building, is the purse of the fighter.
Exactly.
So is Canelo willing to really lose some? He's gonna get pay-per-view, but it's not gonna be as close as.
Not like you said, like we were talking earlier. The purse money on ticket sales. That's a big thing. Now, are the other fighters gonna take on the match because of it, or will they go with a lesser fighter because, say, the guy that they want says, no, I want a bigger payday? So maybe this year Canelo will not even face one of these mega superstars here. Exactly. Maybe somebody that's willing to, I guess, take not a pay cut, but like, all right, we'll fight. You can fight at this route.
Yeah, you're right.
I don't think we'll have a mega fight this year.
You don't think so, Herman? Why not, man?
We're already halfway through the year, and by the time they start negotiations and all that other stuff, it's going to be like already getting in October, November. It's like, wait till next year. Right now, I think the mindset of everybody in sports is, let's just wait till next year.
Well, especially the build-up, because you got to build this.
Yeah, exactly.
Build the card
build it up.
I guess the only way is will be Triple G, but he has to fight that other fight first because he has that mandatory.
Yeah, he has that, exactly.
Because from what I read, Canelo still wants. His camp saying that they still want to do 2 fights, one in September and one in December. Maybe Triple G in December. I think.
Do you want to see Triple G? Do you want to see him, Herman, again?
Hell no, it's over. That thing's over.
Canelo beat him, big time.
Canelo beat him the second time.
Yeah, he beat him. Not the first time. No. But Canelo convincingly beat him. On the second time. I don't know what Triple G. I think Triple G had issues. But as you know, he doesn't have the trainer anymore that we once knew as the Abel Sanchez. It was Anthony Durrell.
Anthony Durrell.
Yeah,
that beat Abi Han at the Don Haskins Center.
I remember he did that spear on him.
Anthony Durrell. Is that the guy that also has been considered to fight Canelo?
He's on his way. Now he's just looking for a payday.
Man,
you can't blame him going to the cash cow, but
you can. But that was tough, man, for our local Abe Han. Huh? Nice guy, nice family, man.
It was a good fight, though. He went straight forward and took it to him. It was no.
And you know what?
He didn't back down.
And he looked in shape, huh?
Yeah, he did. He
did, huh? Anthony Durrell.
Oh yeah.
He was even talking to people. I think he was talking to even Jennifer Hahn.
Yeah, he was.
Right.
He was mocking her.
So I guess we don't want to see what if that was the comeback fight? I don't know, man. But like Herman said, maybe we won't see a big mega fight this year.
Everybody's waiting until 2021.
I mean, we still got Terrence Crawford still there. We got Manny Pacquiao.
That's right. That's right.
You know,
Maybe Mike Tyson. Remember?
yeah. I mean,
What, you got him in Holyfield?
so you guys you got some people coming. You know, maybe Terrence Crawford. What's his Earl Spence against Manny Pacquiao?
Harold is the one that was in that
The car accident, right? That he would have had already more fights under his belt, but that delayed him. And how is he going to look on his comeback?
How's he going to feel?
How is he going to feel?
React?
How is he going to react? I mean, do you think these fighters have been trained even though the pandemic? Yeah. Huh?
Oh yeah,
they have private gyms.
They got to.
Yeah,
I mean,
of course,
it's their business. It's their money.
Of course.
You know, to have that mindset, the great ones will always still do it.
Of course. And just looking ahead for the schedule of fighting, we see it here. I know we have one this weekend, and it's going to be in Poland. Unknown fighters, of course. Kevin Johnson is the heavyweight there on a 10-rounder. June 16, another fight in Las Vegas. Joshua Greer versus Mike Plania for 10 rounds bantamweights. Not big fights, upcoming fighters, but still, nonetheless, it's televised and it's good. ESPN, another one in Las Vegas, June the 18th. That's a Thursday. Jose Pedraza, Gabriel Flores is on that card. June 20th in Mexico City, ESPN Plus. And there's a known fighter, Emmanuel Navarrete against Uriel Lopez. June 23rd, Las Vegas, Anthony Maloney. June 25th. Who? Bertel.
That guy's good.
And then June 27 is when we see actually a known fighter, Miguel Berchet.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Miguel Berchet to be announced for a 12-round in the junior lightweight. And that's going to be in Mexico. Very good fighter. Alwin Soto's another very good fighter. So, you know, and then here's another one, July the 2nd, title fight for the WBO junior lightweight. And if you notice, it says Las Vegas because they don't know where. Maybe the bubble, but like you said, they're going to have people come in. What's going to happen? But that's going to be Jamel Herring against Jonathan Oquendo. And it goes down. I mean, there's fights, guys, and it's busy. But as you can see, there's not a mega fight that's going to bring back boxing. Who knows, right?
But the good thing is, you see, we're making some
There's
progress.
action, of course.
Yeah, we got some
There's
progress.
got to be
It's
progress.
It's a good thing. Vegas
They
looks
got
like
a plan.
Vegas is ready to come back. They want everybody's money.
Yeah, man. God, man, it's tough.
It is.
Folks, we're not only talking about pro. What about the amateur world? USA Boxing announces plans for a single-day shows. Executive Director Mike McTee announced today as USA Boxing plans to begin returning to single-day club shows after July 31st. That is something like business owners like me, gym owners like me, Herman Delgado, coaches like Herman, and other gyms have been, hey, when are they going to let us spar? Because right now, gyms are not sparring. They don't allow kids to spar. There's rules, regulations. If we're following them or not, who knows? But they're not allowing them. And for my case, we're not doing that in our gym. We want to keep it safe. Like I said, it's a slow progress. But after July 31st, depending on local and state guidelines, they're gonna allow the LBCs to have these single day club shows. Also, new sanctions as well as date changes for previously postponed sanction events may be submitted to the local boxing committee for approval for events after July 31st. USA Boxing announced that all LBCs will be granted 2 free test sanctions that can begin July the 10th. These sanctions will be limited to no more than 10 bouts. No spectators, as well as other guidelines they must follow to help prepare for official sanctions taking place after July 31st opening. Full guidelines will be posted online and sent to the LBCs shortly. LBCs must continue to follow local and state guidelines. States not open will not be able to host test sanctions or club shows until the local government allows it. Texas, like us, we're in a white. I think it just allows us to open, but not sparring, no events yet. July 10th will be the test, and of course, July 31st, single day shows. Now, Herman, let me ask you, you're the amateur coach. Of course, been a pro coach as well, but you're here at Warrior's Edge. So does that mean July 31st before they can start sparring, or it's going to be after, or?
I have no idea until USA Boxing comes out with something specifically from them. Kids ask me, and I said,
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, kids are slowly coming back to the gyms.
I said, I don't know.
After their long 3 months vacation. Everything was going so good after Golden Gloves, and then, of course, they had no control over this. But, yeah, who knows, man? And then here's another thing. What about our monies? You know, kids pay for the sanction. I mean, for their license, the coaches, the gyms, registering. I mean, are we going to get help? Are the kids going to get help next year with their fees? Or are they just not going to? If there's no shows this year,
that's something to look at, though. It's something that the coaches and the LBC has to push
and fight for us up there, maybe.
Exactly.
I mean, it's
if we don't get no representation from the LBC, we can just get ready to pay a whole full year.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, yeah, and you're right.
it's $62,
$72, $75, something like that. But yeah, I mean,
like sometimes
I mean, is it going to be? Are they going to reimburse? Are they going to help the kids? Are they going to prolong? Or are they going to add 3 months to the year? Because the way it works, it's not under the training cycle. You know that? Like if you buy your membership, if you pay July 31st of 2020, it doesn't go July 31st of 2021. It expires in December.
Oh, so if you go in late, you
Yeah,
just get the, you
yeah.
just-
Like if we have a tournament in November and the kid just registered in November because he's new, it expires already.
next
you
month.
gotta
Yeah.
get it.
And yeah, it's fucked up.
And that's a whole nother can of worms right there with the finances. Like,
Yeah.
we got to look at it. All right, since sports does come back, what about your season ticket holders? Are they gonna go? Are they gonna get that? You know,
Like for like
I'm
the
saying, in general, I mean,
UTEP and all that.
or just the pros in general too, because they're not. From what I read, they ain't issuing any money back. They might let you have tickets for next year, but
But they also got to survive. Like USA Boxing also got to survive.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, it's a business all the way around.
business.
Yeah. So those are. I know that's one thing that I've been seeing on Facebook. What coaches have been asking, what's going to happen? You know, what do we do? I mean, because some gyms have kids that are very poor, and they cannot. I mean, afford the membership, and they sponsor them. They go, but you know what? It's just overall, it's been bad for everybody.
I mean,
Right.
well, I hope things turn up. You know, and like I said, it's you guys provide an outlet for these kids. You know, to get them off the street and become better individuals.
Yeah, no, you're right. I mean, Ace, any last words you want to talk about? Anything you want to add before we sign off tonight?
I said, thank you guys for having me on here. I mean,
What about rapid fire for Ace?
We didn't have rapid fire, but
rapid fire?
we didn't have rapid fire for you.
I'm good.
But
I'm good.
how about if you tell what's your best Mexican restaurant in El Paso?
Ooh. I'm gonna get a lot of heat for this one.
Yeah.
But you know what? I got to go right now. Rivas is good right there. You guys got to try the supreme fries on that.
Rivas is where?
It's Zaragoza, yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Shout out to Jorge for turning me on to that Rivas right there.
I heard that place.
It's not a healthy place, all right. You got guacamole, sour cream, cheese, and steak, and fries. I mean, it's just a box of heaven right there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've heard that it's almost like the place we used to go in San Diego, in National City,
Yeah.
and Rivas is very comparable to that.
Okay, here's another last question for Rapid. I mean, if what is one thing that people really don't know about you, that you do as a hobby, or that I don't know? Everybody knows you as a chief photographer for the El Paso Herald,
It's a good one. I'm a big wrestling fan.
like wrestling,
Like wrestling, the old school
Oh
WWE.
yeah,
the
Sin Cara.
Sin Cara or Cinta de Oro now.
Oh, he's Cinta de Oro now.
yes, he changed
So he
the
had
name.
to give up the name because it was owned by the WWE.
WWE. Yep. Yes, so
Yeah.
he's now Cinta de Oro.
Cool dude, man.
Yeah, I think where's it at?
You got what?
It's his design right here. So
Oh, yeah.
with the whole
Shit!
mask,
You are.
right there.
Well, Cinta de Oro was also a Juarez fighter.
Yes. So he got permission, to get the name from that.
It was one of his idols, I think, right?
Exactly.
Wow, you even have a mask like
Yeah, I
that.
got the mask. Like I said, I'm a big.
Show it to the
right
camera.
there, right there. Big old wrestling fan. Of course, Eddie Guerrero's one of my all-time favorites. Just the Guerrero family out there. But like I said, thank you guys for inviting me
cool,
out
man.
here. Herman, I got to get you on camera because Ruben's giving me crap that the camera's just on me. He wants to see you.
Let me put my
You
hand
know.
up because my domo.
There it is. There it is,
There it
Ruben.
is.
See, it wasn't just about all on me.
It was about Ace today.
Right, but got Herman on
Who's
there.
Ruben? What's his last name?
Now Ruben was Ramirez. Now
Yeah, nice guy, man.
Yes, Ramirez.
Very cool guy. I see that guy everywhere too,
Photographer.
doing
Big
good deeds for El Paso. He's a
Exactly.
true El Pasoan.
He is.
Nice
He is.
guy, man. I always see him. I met him at the Jennifer Hahn fight, and he really
He's a
gave me.
jarhead.
he really gave me props for doing the introduction. Nice guy, glasses, right?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, nice
now,
dude,
now
man.
he's goals because
Hello, Ruben.
the stuff that he's gotten to cover in his career. I mean,
We should have brought him, man.
from Super Bowls to the Michael
Are you
Jackson
serious?
stuff. Oh yes.
So this guy's the man for you. He's your dad.
Well, actually,
Herman?
what's really cool is
Ruben's got a world of experience.
Yeah, he was, the photographer for the El Paso Herald Post till when it closed, and then I believe he worked Ruben, I think it was 30 years with the Times until he recently retired a couple years ago.
So he's just a freelancer now?
Yeah, he also freelances for us here with the Post, so we got him back on our flagship
okay.
on that, and just to, poke his brain and see the stuff that he's gone to do, and myself and Johnny, it just gives us, new adventures to like. All right, hopefully we can cover some of the events. So
he's a legend.
Legend. El Paso legend right there.
Wow.
Absolutely.
All right, Ruben, shout out right there. Los Photogs, there you go.
Yeah, and another shot here, another look at Herman.
There's Herman again, so don't.
There I am, Ruben.
He's behind the scene with his Paso microphone.
Right.
Right. Well, folks, before we sign off, I also, again, want to give a shout out to all my listeners and viewers. And then also, again, presented by Sunwest Wholesale Merchant. Go visit Pablo Burciaga at 1835 East Mills Avenue, or call him at 915-351-1615 for all your disinfectant needs, and just, again, support local stuff during this pandemic is so important. And Pop's Pizza, go visit Lou and Mando at 12300 Pelicano Drive, Suite C as in Charles. Go visit them, guys. That's some very good pizza, man. We just had, it's very good. Pizza, wings.
I know what's for dinner tomorrow.
Yeah, go visit them. Tell them that Warriors Edge sent you.
Gotcha.
Very nice dudes, man. And I'm all about supporting local, man.
Exactly.
Big time. All the boxing gyms support people that are trying to make a living here in El Paso. They're true El Pasoans. So go out there, guys, and support these guys. We want to thank those guys, Sunwest Wholesale and Pop's Pizza, for being here tonight with us. We would have had pizza. The next podcast, I'm going to have pizza. I'm going to have Lou deliver us pizza here. Are you listening to me, Lou?
No. So I do a podcast as well. It's called Taco Tuesdays with Ace. So we got to get you guys on there. And
where?
Taco Tuesdays for the Herald Post.
Okay, when do we do that?
We'll set it up, and I have tacos on the.
All right, we should have pizza, man. Pop should have.
Last time I saw him, he had that kid that quarterback.
Yes, Steven
Colorado.
Montez.
He went with
the Washington Redskins.
He just
Yeah, so I mean, it's like I said, Taco Tuesdays. Like I said, we get same thing. Interview some
cool
people on.
And I'll be on that side, right?
Well, get me back in my element on the other side.
Yeah, man. Well, how did I do, man? I didn't do that bad. I was amateur.
No, you did good.
I'm an amateur, and we do it just for fun.
Oh, it's good though.
It kind of relieves stress. You see my gym, family run on. We got some good friends like Herman here, and we've had some good people come to this gym. Pro fighters, Chop, Devon Alexander, Ponce de Leon. But I mean, I guess beyond that, we've had good people from El Paso come here. Ray Mancera, Junior Vicencio, Dos Sin Caras, Ruben Garcia, Mr. Felix, Peter Felix.
Okay.
No, I know Peter.
Right, the guy
Felix
Chavez.
Oh, Felix Chavez.
I'm sorry,
okay,
Felix
yeah.
Chavez.
Peter Felix was the baseball player.
Yeah, we've had some good guys
Peter,
here.
You got Peter Felix, the guy from the environment.
So you're on our 46th episode.
All right, number 46.
So yeah, we've had some good people here, man. All of them. I mean, but we do it for fun.
Hey, but it's a good thing.
And this has been fun, man. I like it. I mean, I don't have that many viewers, but it's fun.
Hey, it's good. It's good. Like
I mean,
said, it's a
I
part,
enjoy
it's a part
it,
of
man.
history. It's a part of history now.
And before I sign off, I just want to also thank all the men and women that keeps us safe out in the streets, to the El Paso Police Department, the El Paso County Sheriff's Office, all our federal agencies, law enforcement. Thank you for what you do. All our doctors.
Yeah, the healthcare.
Our healthcare professionals, man. That
Nurses,
let me tell you one thing. When we go in to see you, man, we expect for you to take care of us, our kids, and all that. But a big shout out to all our doctors and our medical professionals, the RNs, all the nurses that are in the ERs now seeing what we don't see.
Exactly.
So, and then also just service people, public serving people, man.
Exactly.
Even the person that picks up your trash can,
truck driver.
the truck drivers that brings your groceries, all those people, man. Not just back the blue, but back everybody that does a service that makes your life easier.
Exactly.
Right?
Just hopefully everybody can just be a better person.
Yeah, man. I mean, just a shout out to all those people that make this better for everyone.
Exactly.
Everybody that's taking time, everybody that's doing that, and all those people that go out of their way to do stuff like Mr. Rubin.
Mr. Rubin.
He's been on those food banks, those drives.
Yes, he's been doing
That's
the
where I've seen
the
him.
El Paso fighting.
Yeah, man,
fighting
and
100
that's
on
cool,
there.
man. I mean, that's good. That's a true El Pasoan.
It is.
And
it is.
a shout out also to Mr. Aaron Jones.
Mr. Jones. Mr.
All right,
Showtime.
so yeah, man. So guys, again, this has been our show. I want to thank everybody for tuning in. Hopefully, in the future podcasts, Herman, we want to get some fighters in here, get a professional fighter in here to talk to. That boxing is heating up. We're also going to have some ring announcers here coming up.
Nice.
Some boxing ring announcers from down in the valley, pro ring announcer and a local one. So that's coming. We're in the works. Also, our podcasts have been kind of slow, and they've been far apart. But again, like I said, we're also barely going, guys. We're barely getting our motors running, and we're trying to play it safe and starting slowly as well. But we will prevail.
And make sure you check out their previous episode. I believe you had one of the judges on
Yeah,
as well.
Judge Luis Aguilar.
There you go.
Episode number 45. That was awesome as well. He's a very colorful guy, a very vocal guy, and another true El Pasoan.
There you go.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So a shout out to everybody, folks. Like I've always said before I sign off, anything you do, you put God first. This has been a podcast. Thanks to Ace, Herman, and the Warriors Edge family. Have a great evening, folks. Hasta la vista.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.